This week we are coming out with interesting webinars. The first webinar is the Indian stock market still your best bet for long-term growth? Where we will be discussing is Indian stock market as an opportunity for long-term growth. And the second webinar is building conviction in uncertain time, where we will be talking about our flagship PMS product Soltaire. To join the above webinars, click the link in the description and bio.
2024 was a shocking year for all shoppers. When they would go to the grocery stores, their bills would be well above what they expected to pay. And 2025 is turning out to be the year where you're getting some relief from those shocking bills. So what's really going on? One thing that's very clear from the data is that food inflation, particularly vegetable prices, have been coming down over the last 3-4 months. So for savers, this has been a big boost because now you're spending a lot less than what you had budgeted for. So the real question that we are going to try to answer in this video is whether low inflation is good for you or not. Now, inflation is a tricky macroeconomic parameter. What it does is it tries to measure prices from a past point in time to where we are today. So the idea is that there is going to be some level of inflation in the economy. Too much of it is bad and too little of it is bad too. So why is too much inflation bad for the economy? When there's a lot of inflation in the economy, it means that money is chasing fewer and fewer goods. So it could signal some sort of supply disruptions. It could signal overspending, and there could be a whole host of other problems. So what you see is rising prices, the inability for people to save, and it could also fuel growth, but not in a sustainable manner. Now, when you have low inflation, you have some of the benefits of price stability, but what you lose out on is the economy growing. So this is a big risk. If you want to be a high growth economy, you need to have a certain level of inflation. Now, this obviously raises another question in your mind, which is, okay, so if we know that some inflation is good, what exactly is some inflation? Is it just an arbitrary number that keeps changing from time to time? Or is there really some concrete target that we're talking about? There is a target for inflation. It's not some abstract number. Most central banks are tasked with the responsibility of keeping inflation in check. So this means that there is a certain sweet spot where you're having price stability, but you're not compromising on growth. And for India, the RBI has decided that that level is 4%. Now, if you're looking at another economy like the US, their target inflation is 2%. So clearly there's no one right number for everyone across the world, but there is a right number for each economy. Now let's take a quick look at how inflation in India has been through 2025. So if we look at the January reading, that came in at 4.31%. And then if we move on to February, that came in at 3.61%. And March recorded 3.34%, and April recorded 3.16%. So clearly there's been a downward trajectory in terms of inflation. And if we look at the last 3 readings, we've been below the RBI's sweet spot of 4%. So we are in low inflation territory. And if we take the average for what Q4 was, that stands at 3.75%. Now let's compare these data points with what the RBI projected for this financial year in April. Q1 is going to stand at 3.6%, Q2 slightly higher at 3.9%, Q3 at 3.8%, and Q4 at 4.4%. So what we're seeing here is the majority of this year, you're going to be trending below the 4% number. So when you see the headlines pointing out that inflation is low, you're actually in territory that is expected to play out this way. So clearly we're going to be in low interest rate territory in FY 25-26. So the headlines shouldn't really come as a surprise to us. So this brings us back to the first question, is inflation actually good for you as an investor? Now, this is a little hard to answer. It depends on what kind of investor you are and where you're looking at investing. So if you've been an early adopter of fixed income, then low inflation is actually good for you because low inflation means lower interest rates. Now, if you've taken a duration call, you're going to benefit the most from having that. If you've been somebody who's locked into a certain asset class like a bond or a fixed deposit, then in those cases, you're going to protect your returns. If you're in open-ended schemes that don't have too much duration, then the risk is that you may have reinvestment risk, which means that whatever return expectation you set at the time of making an investment, you might actually end up making lower returns as time progresses. This is because interest rates will come down and then the cost of borrowing will come down in the economy. So then the shorter term instruments really don't have that capacity to give you additional returns and they reprice at lower interest rates. Whereas longer term instruments have some form of mark-to-market gains, and through those gains, you tend to make a little bit extra on your investments. So for fixed income investors, low inflation is more or less a good thing, because even if you're in those short-term instruments, your post-inflation returns are still fairly reasonable. If you're an equity investor, on the other hand, you're in a trickier spot today. Normally, lower interest rates are a good thing for equities because when interest rates go down, asset prices go up. However, asset prices have already been up for a while, and we are in a market where a lot of investors have been talking about how companies and sectors are overvalued. So in today's context, lower interest rates may not do anything to improve valuations, and there isn't too much to be gained from this aspect. That being said, there could still be a case for lower interest rates because lower interest rates might mean refinancing opportunities or even better financial management for companies. So knowing what you own and knowing why you own it can make a big difference to how your equity investing turns out. If you enjoyed watching this video, then subscribe to our channel because we publish a lot of content like this which could be helpful for your investing journey.